We're going to go ahead and try to write the equation of this polynomial, knowing that it goes through the points, if we look here, negative 12, 0, negative 2, 0, and 9, 0. So let's write the equation using those intercepts. So f of x is equal to x plus 12 times x plus 2 times x minus 9. Okay, so when we use the intercepts, we can see that clearly they are matching with the blue graph, that indeed we go through all the points that are intercepting the x-axis. However, we have not matched the graph. So we know right here it says you may need to solve for A using the non-zero point shown. So which non-zero point do they mean? Well, you can basically choose any graph, any point on the blue graph, except for an intercept. So, for example, the point right here that I am now clicking on, the point 0, 1080 is a point that I can choose. I could choose one of these points here, but where it says 3, 2250, that will work too. Or even the point here, 4.398, 2414.08. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be plugging in these values into my equation, even though we certainly can. So how will we find the A value to match up with this graph? Because we could guess, we could say, let's say I put the value 2. Then you see my graph is going steeper. What if I put the value 3? What do you notice? The graph also looks like it has flipped. So we could guess and check and try to get the correct number. Let's say I put negative 3. Okay, now we see that the graph has flipped. So how can we find this A value to match up the green graph exactly with the blue graph? So we have found the A value last semester. We're going to do the same thing. Let's try to see how we can do that. So if I write the equation, y is equal to some number A, x plus 12 times x plus 2 times x minus 9. So here's my equation right here. Now the only thing I don't know is my A, but we just chose a point on the graph, which is 0, 1080. Well, do you remember what this represents? This 0 is my x, and this 1080 is my y. So that's just a point on the graph. I can easily input this point into the equation, and then I will only have one unknown. Which unknown? It's my A value. So if I plug in 0 for x and 1080 for y, then I will have the following equation now. Now, once I plug that in, I could simplify it. We know 0 plus any number is just that number. So rewriting this equation, I will have 12 times 2 times negative 9. From here, it is just working out some algebra. It's just an equation that's going to require maybe one step. So multiply 12 times 2 times negative 9. You can use a calculator. 12 times 2 is 24, and 24 times negative 9, let's see here, And we get 216, negative 216. So 1,080 equals A times negative 216. Solving for A, I could just divide both sides by negative 216. So we get that A is equal to 1,080 over negative 216. If you simplify this value, you'll see that A actually equals to negative 5. So let's see if we plugged in A negative 5 to our graph, if that would overlap. So I'm going to change this negative 3 here. We just calculated the A value and put a negative 5 instead, and it looks like that is the correct A value. So I'm going to stop here and continue with the next video for slides 16 through 20.